I'm Betty. Welcome to Betty's Kitchen. Today we're making sweet potato patties, and that's a dish for Mother's Day. It will be a nice accompaniment to any entree, pretty much, and I'm putting it together with a few other accompaniments and desserts that you've already seen. What we do is pick a couple of sweet potatoes, and I've chosen the red variety. This is just a normal size one, so 2 average size sweet potatoes need to be peeled and then chunked up at about 3/4 to 1 inch chunks. I would say cubes, but they usually will come out more wedge shaped like this, but something like that. And then you put them in a bowl and cover them with plastic wrap and then microwave them. And you can microwave them just a couple minutes at a time and keep track of them. I started with 5 minutes and they were done. So that tells you might want to start with 3 minutes and then check them with a fork, and they should be tender enough for you to mash, because that's the next step. Then you're going to take a fork and just mash them. I have my 2 sweet potatoes mashed, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, firmly packed. And I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now you can adjust on those to your taste, but we'll take the fork again and mash those into the sweet potatoes. So here we have our sweet potatoes, our brown sugar, and our salt all mixed together, and we're ready to form patties of this. Now I'm going to be rolling the patties in crushed Ritz crackers. You could use Townhouse, you could use club crackers. What I do is just place a roll of them after I've taken them out of their inner container, and then I just use a rolling pin till they are crushed very fine. And then it's easier for me to go ahead and empty that into a shallow dish like a pie plate, and then form the patties and dip each side in here. In forming the patties, in order to keep them all consistent in size, I'm going to use an ice cream scoop. So we'll just scoop some over here. You can see how that looks when you come up. It may be a little bit high on one side but low on the other, but it all evens out. Now when you put it in your hand, you may want to adjust it a little bit, maybe flatten it out so it has a better shape, but that's much easier than just grabbing some of it and forming the patty on your own, and these will all be the same size. So I'm just going to get this well coated with the cracker crumbs. And you could use soda crackers if you like, but I like a butter cracker on this, and pat it in a little bit and then set it aside. And I have some wax paper just on a cutting board here, and that will just wait until I have them all ready, and then we'll be frying them in a skillet. I was able to get 10 sweet potato cakes, as you can see on this piece of wax paper, and here I have a skillet that I have some butter in. I put 1 tablespoon of butter in there, and I have melted it, and I've been watching it to make sure that the butter does not burn, because it burns very quickly. So I'm going to start bringing the sweet potato cakes in one at a time, and this should sizzle a little bit. I turned it down, and I guess I should turn it back up. And I think we can fit all 10 of those in. May have to scoot them together a little bit. I have been putting a little bit of butter in the center as it begins to use up the butter that is there, and I have added in a 2nd tablespoon of butter. So altogether 2 tablespoons, but to begin with just 1 tablespoon, and then let it absorb that. Here I think we can look at the bottoms and see if they're ready. Yeah, if they're nice and golden like that, you know they're done. You just need to get a crust on that you like. So we'll start turning these. My sweet potato cakes are done, and so I have a platter here that has paper toweling on it, and I'm just going to transfer these from the skillet one by one to the platter to drain. Actually, they have very little to drain because they've absorbed the 2 tablespoons of butter that I put in there. Some of you will want to put more butter in if you like it crispier or want to leave it longer, but for what we've done, 2 tablespoons is just right. I have my place right here, and I have a cup of hot tea, just Lipton tea, that is steeping, and that's going to be nice and fresh soon. And here is the plate that I've prepared with our sweet potato cakes. You can see how nice they look, and I've put some fresh thyme from our herb garden, which I've not planted yet. This is last year's that came up and has done well so far this year, along with quite a few other herbs. But I'm going to take one of these and test it. You know, I like the ones that are brown or crusty, so I'll get this one in the center and bring it over. So I want to take a taste here, and we'll just cut down through it. I'll let you see what it looks like if I cut down the center. It's very soft, you know, it's going to taste nice and buttery, and those crackers are going to be a little crusty, and then the brown sugar and the salt will give the flavor that perks up the sweet potatoes. So we'll see what it tastes like. Really wonderful. You know, there's a whole spectrum of sweet potato dishes. You can do roasted sweet potato planks, which I do have in Betty's Kitchen, and that way you have the healthiest variety. Don't add a lot of sweets and fats to it. Then you can have something like this, which is kind of in the middle. It gives you some sweet, gives you a little bit of fat, a lot of flavor and taste. Or you can go to something like a casserole, which again, in Betty's Kitchen, if you want to look them up, I have some that are marshmallow topped sweet potatoes, and then I have pecan topped sweet potatoes. So I do the fatty things too. I try to do something for everybody, and at my home, we all enjoy them all occasionally. So you might want to go back and look at other versions of sweet potatoes, or you might want to try these sweet potato cakes this year for Mother's Day. These are really wonderful. I hope you enjoy the recipe.